Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here on the outskirts of Las Vegas, Nevada, and I am mad, my friends. This is getting so beyond just basic terrorism at this point, complete tyranny that we're witnessing throughout the world, and right now here in this gun-friendly, freedom-loving state, the governor once again cracks down on the most basic forms of free will. Obviously, as many of you guys know, I left Las Vegas several months ago to go to Mexico out of the need to ensure my own freedom because they were shutting everything down. They're forcing people into their homes. They were doing absolutely tyrannical things, and I knew I needed to go somewhere else to protect myself, as freedom at the end of the day is about self-responsibility. Well, I came back and things were, I wouldn't say getting back to normal, but you know, as far normal as it could possibly be, considering the circumstances. And then right as I was leaving to go to New Hampshire on a road trip, they decided that you cannot even walk outside, here I am outside, without a mask on. And people are walking around in 110-degree heat with masks on with the threat of arrest. And now, after all these businesses started opening again and some waiters started getting some tips again, what did Steve Sisolak do, the governor? Well, as this article out of the Las Vegas Review-Journal says, Sisolak says restrictions on some bars will return Friday. By some, he means all independent bars that aren't in casinos. As it says, Governor Steve Sisolak on Thursday said bars that don't serve food will be forced to once again close in Clark and Washoe counties as COVID-19 cases continue to surge in Nevada. They're not surging, they just weren't testing, and now they're suddenly testing. The deaths are going down at a record number, but no, the cases are going up because they started testing. They weren't testing before, and now they are. And they're testing for exosomes. As a creator of the test himself says, it does not test for coronavirus, it tests for exosomes, and most people have some form of exosome in them. So any kind of virus, anything, it could be like, canker sores and stuff like that. I mean, it's ridiculous. Carrying on, as it says, the new directive, which has not been finalized, will go into effect at 11:59 p.m. Friday. The governor said in a press conference, bars in other counties also could be included as they finalize the parameters of this directive, but Sisolak said he doesn't want to close bars in counties that have low numbers of cases. And I quote, congregating at bars poses a significant risk and is one of the most dangerous things we can do right now, Sisolak says. No, the most dangerous thing you could do right now is listen to government. This is absolute tyranny. People were just getting back to work, and then they say, actually, no, independent bars, they have to close down. Casinos, that's fine. Look, in the first place, if you're worried about getting sick that much, if you're that much of a germaphobe or a virus phobe or whatever you want to call it, irrational fear that is, don't go to a bar. Don't go to Las Vegas. It's simple. It's your responsibility, not the government's, to go around and destroy everyone's livelihood and force people into their homes and force people to wear masks in 110-degree heat in the middle of the desert. This is so infuriating to see all these small bars get closed down again. 81% of small independent restaurants, as it is, say that they will not survive past December. They're living off the last of their cash. They're in massive amounts of debt. They're bankrupt. And all the big guys get let up, an arm up from or a leg up from the government, and all the small guys get completely freaking destroyed. This is like, you gotta wonder, where's the boogaloo at? Nobody's doing anything. Let me go into the stats real quickly here. So the CDC recently came out with a study. Remember, it was originally 3.5 to 7% mortality rate when we first heard about this months ago. We knew it was BS, but nonetheless, that's what they said. The recent CDC study showed that it's a 0.26% chance of dying from coronavirus if you get it. If you take out nursing homes, however, it's 0.2%. If you take out people over 50, it's 0.1%. If you consider all asymptomatic cases, which there are a lot of, and it cannot spread if you're asymptomatic, it's very difficult to anyway. It's 0.04% chance of dying if you have coronavirus. And if it's an average person, not with coronavirus, the chances of dying from it are 0.02%. This is fraud. How do they get away with this? I know, because Steve Sisolak, the governor of Nevada, lives all the way in Carson, Nevada, far away, I think it's coordinated, far away from Las Vegas, so people in Las Vegas, where most people are in Nevada, can't really go up to his office and demand answers. They have to drive like 5 or 6 hours. This is beyond insane. This is government tyranny in a nutshell. This is the people that are allowing this to happen are the same types of people that allowed Nazi Germany to take over, that allowed Stalin to take over and Mao to take over. Guys, this is where you stand up. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, it's just bars. It's not just bars. They're looking at closing down restaurants again, exactly as we predicted months ago would happen. Oh, they'll let everything open again, and then they'll say, oh, cases are surging because they're testing when they weren't testing before, and then they shut everything down, and the tests are faulty, and they're marking people who have any symptoms as COVID. The hospitals get a bunch of money. It's fraud, absolute freaking fraud. So now all these people in these bars, all these bartenders and bar owners, they're done. I mean, they're done. How are they going to survive this? They can't. They cannot survive this. And people are willingly just going along with it. Almost everyone I see on the streets of Las Vegas, shame on you guys, are walking around with masks on because daddy government told them to. You're walking down the street in 110-degree heat with a mask on, a black one at that. And then I talked to a bartender last night who literally told me, well, I support them making me unemployed because, cases were going up in Arizona and we don't want to. It's what a complete lie. A complete lie based on fabrication, because government will not relent power if they have it. Why would they? The whole idea of government is control, and if they relent control, then they cease to have any power. They need more power all the time. They always grow in power, in size and scope. So this bartender literally said that he was okay with them shutting him down. They said, oh, well, I got to be careful. We don't want to kill people. Dude, quit your f***ing job then. And if you don't want to go to a bar and get sick, then don't go to a f***ing bar. Like, you need to be so nannied by government that you need to be enforced by law by the point of a gun to stay home, instead of, if you're a germaphobe, just not going out. And I'm seeing this everywhere. I just drove around the whole country. I think I went to like 20 states or something in the United States, driving around the country. As you know, I'm homeless now because I was demonetized by the thanks to the World Health Organization in the community guidelines on YouTube. So check those links below and join me on Flote, BitChute, like the video, share, get around the shadow banning, donate, anything you can do to help. I really appreciate it. But as you know, this happened. So I was driving around the country and I'm crashing place to place, sleeping in a tent, all that kind of stuff. I went through New Mexico, and they were telling me that I couldn't stop my vehicle and take a rest and go to a hotel because I'd have to be forced quarantined for 14 days at my own expense. They were pulling people over in New Mexico for driving around without a mask on by themselves in their car. I mean, this tyranny is so beyond anything. I could imagine it, but most people could possibly imagine. Everyone's just going along with it. This is like the perfect litmus test for IQ right now, that everyone just goes along with it and it's okay with it. People are so brainwashed that in New Hampshire, in the middle of nowhere, I saw a guy with his convertible just sitting there in the middle of nowhere, in the mountains, no one with him. And he was taking pictures of his convertible and he was standing there with a mask on by himself. Guys, this is not how viruses spread. If you guys check out Dan Dix, the Press for Truth's recent video with a PhD on this subject where he breaks down and debunks this, I really recommend that. I mean, they are testing people to see how far they can go, and I guarantee you they can go further because I'm already seeing it. It's only a matter of time before people rise up more, but why haven't they already? Where's this boogaloo at? What's going on? I mean, we've gotten this far. Everyone's bankrupt. They've completely bankrupted everyone. They push people out of their job. They cause a mental health crisis. They caused alcoholism crisis. They caused a domestic abuse crisis. They're causing a child abuse crisis. They're forcing people out of their jobs. They can't go out without a mask, which actually suppresses your freaking immune system, because the whole idea of a virus is it's an exosome. It causes your immune system to attack itself. It's like a glitch in the matrix. It's basically, it's like a corruption in a computer system, and it attacks itself. Well, staying inside, not getting beautiful vitamin D, staying inside, wearing a mask that suppresses your oxygen levels, all that hurts your immune system and makes it more likely for you to get sick. This is crazy. And people are walking around with a mask on that says, I can't breathe, for the riots, out of Minneapolis and stuff. It just seems to me like a giant psyop, like I can't breathe, like the irony of that. I'm just getting really sick of this because I just don't, it's only going to get worse from here before it gets better, and people aren't doing anything, and honestly, it's starting to look like they're going to be able to get full-fledged Hitlerian tyranny, and it's happening so fast, and people aren't doing anything about it. People just go along with it. A bunch of fucking slaves walking around the streets of Las Vegas with a mask on. Why are you in Las Vegas if you're worried about getting sick? Why are you going to the bar if you're worried about getting sick? Oh, but it's okay to go to a bar if it's in a casino. The big guys always win, the small guys get destroyed under the guise of saving the small guy. It is Orwellian doublespeak in a nutshell. And it's about time people do something about this, because we're at the end of the line. I always stand for peace and evolution rather than revolution. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think below, because this is kind of bridging that level of maybe things should be ramped up a little bit. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there. And with all the new studies that come out, and remember, this is all based on a virus that was a lie to begin with. They said, well, remember that Dr. Fauci, who headed the Institute for Allergies and Infectious Diseases, took millions and millions and millions of dollars in grants from the US government to study the coronavirus in bats in Wuhan at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, where the virus is said to have broken out from. That the Wuhan Institute of Virology to study coronavirus in bats is 96% similar to novel coronavirus. And with that, the whole study was how to spread it to humans. It's right there in the paperwork. It was between 2015 and 2019 that these studies were going on with multiple grants. And also there's evidence that there was coronavirus being developed in Fort Detrick, so in the United States. So I mean, what I'm saying is that it's become apparent that this is a bioweapon. Most people realize that. Most people I talk to say, yeah, this is all a hoax. It's not a hoax like that it doesn't exist, but that it's a bioweapon, and they're just marking faulty numbers for COVID across the board. Asymptomatic cases, again, don't spread. Most people I talk to already know that. Going around the country, most small towns, no one's wearing masks. So there's that side to it. However, people aren't doing anything about it. Being awake and taking action are two different things, and people are getting pushed around and just beaten to death right now with the stick called government. Government is organized crime, and they do not have your best intentions in mind. Stand up. Stand up. Or else forever hold your peace and feel the guilt of what you allowed and bestowed upon your fellow man and woman. Anyway, I appreciate everyone watching this. I'm going to be continuing to get into this. I'm actually toned down a lot. Last night I was like glitching out. I was so pissed off. They're just playing with people. They're messing with people. It's all a game to them, and they know it. And I hope you know it too, because this is the end at this point. Anyway, appreciate everyone watching. Hit that like button, share on social media to get around the shadow banning. Pledge, GoFundMe, Patreon, subscribe, star. Anything helps to keep us alive. We really appreciate it. We're getting destroyed. So find us on Flote.app as well as BitChute and Library and Minds. We're getting off of YouTube by November 5th. We hope every other independent media joins us. Tell other independent media to join us in our campaign. Remember the 5th of November, my friends. Let's get off this platform if you're watching it on YouTube and go elsewhere. There's no point in YouTube anymore. They're run by governments around the world in order to manipulate the narrative, just like the mainstream media, which led to the creation of YouTube in the first place. So we just check the links below, and also join us on our new newsletter at www.iamband.com. We really appreciate the support, guys. Talk to you soon. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth. Be the change. Like what you see here, OM? Don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, subscribe, star. We really can't do it without you. We've been so insanely shadow banned, about 90% at this point, and 95% demonetized. As Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, comes in and says that she is shutting down quote-unquote controversial content and cutting out the views on this controversial content by 70%. She's been bragging about it. We need your help more than ever in this battle for truth in information. You guys are what keeps us alive, so we really appreciate just even $1 a month makes a huge difference. If everyone could give just $1 a month, we wouldn't even have to worry about competing against the mainstream propaganda networks. You can also donate to our Bitcoin address on the screen for you to scan if you please, as well as in the comments and description. Liking and sharing makes a big difference as well, and finding us on alternative social media platforms like flote.app, that's flote.app, makes a huge difference. We're at Josh Sigurdson as well as at Wham. Flote is replacing Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon all in one with encrypted private messaging, and of course monetization on videos for creators, live streams with super chats in crypto, and most of all, no algorithm, because at the end of the day, it's all about reach, guys. This is all about actually reaching people with the message and waking up the public. You can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, Minds, BitChute, all sorts of different platforms. Try to follow us on as many things as possible, because very soon this channel will very likely just be completely deleted from YouTube, and you'll never see us again, and you'll be stuck with only the mainstream networks. Also, come on out and see us at Anarcho Vegas 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada in July, where such speakers such as G. Edward Griffin and many others will be speaking. You could use promo code WHAM on your VIP tickets and save 10%, as well as buy extremely cheap tickets for just $20.20. You won't find a cheaper conference than this with such amazing names. Check anarchovegas.com for more information on that. We hope to see you out there. And anyway, I really appreciate all of you guys joining us. You make it possible for us to survive in this volatile, propagandized climate. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.
Bye.